Hello and welcome, my name is Lynx, and as I promised, we are jumping into Dear Esther, and we are doing it right after playing its remake called Dear Edwin. I had to. And I guess there is also a remake version, so we might be jumping into that later as well to see. But yeah, Dear Esther, let's read the description and we'll be right into playing it afterwards. A deserted island, a lost man, memories of a fatal crash, a book written by a dying explorer. Dear Esther immerses you in a stunningly realized world, a remote and desolate island somewhere in the outer Hebrides. As you step forwards, a voice begins to read fragments of a letter. Dear Esther. And so begins a journey through one of the most original first-person games of recent years. Abandoning traditional gameplay for a pure story-driven experience, Dear Esther refuses its beautiful environments with a breathtaking soundtrack tell a powerful story of love, loss, guilt, and redemption. You know, I'll be honest, it's kind of wild to call a walking simulator. What did you call it? One of the most original first-person games. Kinda wild, but okay. Okay, I have a loading icon on my screen. It's annoying. Let me reset that by quitting the game and starting again, because that's, again, a nuisance. And here we are. Oh yeah, I mean, I can't really link you the original because it's no longer for sale, but in the description you'll have a link to the Steam page of the remaster. Or however they named the remaster. Which we might play as well, because apparently I have it. I don't know if right after, but we'll play it. Start! Oh, I can't choose. Got it. The Lighthouse. Play this chapter. Yes. Yes. Whoa.
I have lost track of how long I have been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
Plus, plot twist, that's what happened to him. Because he tried to go blindly and... Ooh. This looks crisp. Oh, wait. Did I hear his heartbeat going up? Wait. Dude, you bet I'm curious if you could end the game like this now, but I won't try. Can I sprint? Oh no, I can't sprint. Alright, it's game over for the boat, I would assume. Wow. This place needs some renovation. It's definitely game over for this boat. Unless, again, renovating it. Dude. I would still... Oh. Flashlight activates on its own? Okay. Yeah, this place needs... Dude, this place needs a lot of I feel like maybe getting rid of the entire building and putting a new one would be a better idea. Yeah. Good. I mean, you have toilet, so that's cool. You can do that. And here... Well, I guess you could... Kinda sucks to have kitchen right by the toilet for... Like, yeah. Wait. Why do you have two sinks in here? So weird. I guess we cannot go to the top of the tower. Considering some steps to this staircase are missing. Dude, but still, how cool would it be to live in a lighthouse? I think it would be pretty flipping amazing. Oh yeah, am I supposed to be looking for letters or whatever? Were there any letters here? Because I paid attention to the... Okay, there's a zoom if I left click as well. What do we have here? Food and goods, alright. Some cards. Dude, I swear. I mean, if you could renovate this place, or again, put a new, completely new building instead of this one, I think it would be flipping fantastic. What do we have here? That's a lot of paint. That is a lot of paint. Why do you need so much paint? Unless I'm mistaken, it's... No, it's paint. Maybe someone wanted to, like, renovate it, but the paint would not be enough. All right, let's go left this time. In the demake, I went right first. I'm curious about left first. Well, maybe that's a mistake to go through here. Yeah, wait. If this is designed the same way I've seen the demake, if we go up, there should be a point where we can no longer go like any further. Into that little hill. Where is you? When was the or? Give me a second. I need to have a look because I couldn't see that on the Steam anymore. Release date. Dude, this was released in 2012. This game is 14 years old, and do you see that? This looks good. Another paint bucket. This looks good. Say what you want. This
Donnelly
looks...
reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace.
But shit.
They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side,
We need to go back.
The cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I kind of messed up and I have to walk to that cave again. This is where we'd like to have a sprint. Now that I think about it, I mentioned this in a certain RPG game we played 2 days ago. That when I was searching if there is other ending or whatever, that someone who I looked at was not pressing the shift button to move. Yeah, because dude, not sprinting in an RPG. Come on. You have to do that. Okay, let's check out the cave. Come on, man. Turn on the flashlight. No? Well, I can't move further. I mean, that is certainly a view. Dude, you have a little, like super mini river. Crazy. A stream, basically. Huh. Okay, we'll take a shortcut to the lower level. I wish we could continue further here for... I don't feel like this would be hard to get in, like, if you try it in real life. Like, come on. You would need to be a klutz to not be able to pass through there, I feel like. Yeah. And even more islands in the far distance. Actually, maybe not that far, considering we can see that. But the more you see it, the more you want to get away. Should I go there or
There was
up?
once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand.
Huh.
They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
Yeah. I mean, a place like this, probably the best way to get any sorts of power range would be with the wind power. Then again, solar panels would work too.
Reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight. He landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons.
I wonder why you would use... No, over here it seems normal, but over there is a barbed wire.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. To keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Okay. I feel like I might be, like, listening to the guy, but I will not remember anything of what he's saying.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether.
Yeah.
In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction?
Can I not get to the top? That's, in a way, sad. I guess we can... No, we can't pass over there. Okay. Now we go down again. Huh. You know what? I know as well. The
Dear Esther,
Okay.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
You know what? No. Because he kinda interrupted me. Just like everyone else, I know how the prices of PC parts are going crazy, right? Like, in a way, I'm glad I upgraded my PC that I have. Which is an old machine, again. So I have like a 4th gen CPU. A GTX graphics card. I'm happy with that. It does the work for me, right? At the same time, I'm kinda pissed that I didn't actually decide to build a PC when my first change of CPU went bad. Because now the prices are ridiculous. But also, what I'm getting at right now is... Listen, the new parts are crazy. But do you need them? I mean, dude, there are so many games out there, right? You don't need to play the newest games.
I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Oh. That looks like a foot. Right? The end of the foot. Some fingers and some additional stuff. That looks like some sort of chemical, well, sort of equation. Huh. Doesn't seem like there's any more paths here for. But yeah, PCs, huh? I wonder how expensive Steam machine will be. I think they... Shut up! I think they didn't say the price yet, right? They haven't said the price yet. Too bad that, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be like basically built like a laptop, so you can't upgrade everything you'd want. Because, you know, maybe that would be the way to go. When everything really is getting more and more ridiculous. Hopefully all the companies that invest in the slop will, like, get their ass whooped crazily. I wish to all the companies that do it exactly
I
that.
dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rode to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
You know, the music is kinda crazy good here. Oh. Oh, is it the same equation as there? I said an equation. It's a pattern. I probably could go here, but I also could go there. Ah. Yeah, this... If there is anything we lack here, it's the sprint ability. I really need a sprint. I guess we can't really go here. Unless... I know it's walking simulator, not a sprinting simulator, but still. Nope. Alright, I guess there is only one way then. But yeah. Sometimes you'd want to speed up your walk. I don't remember, did this game have any cards? Or achievements? I have not looked then into that. Funnily enough, I did have it not in the not installed folder. Not in that one, but in the games in queue folder on Steam. Yeah, because I keep them in the folders in library, okay? I'm like that. Oh. I guess we might have ended the chapter? 20 minutes, huh?
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
2 ships? Damn. Do I go down to... or left? Let's go left first. We'll see where that leads. And we might have a little view from up here onto the ships. But, well, probably ended up crashing. Oh, wait. Is it one? It's a one ship. Okay, it's one ship. Huh. I don't know if I should continue walking further for. Dude, again, we have so many games already. We're fine. Even with the older systems. Guys and not guys. We're fine. But very importantly, I have to say that, and everyone should say that as well.
It's only at night that this place makes any sense.
Don't fall for the schemes of
You can see the boy
of the rich.
I've been taking to sleeping through the day.
I'll continue in a
attempt
second.
To resurrect myself. I can feel the last days drawing upon me. There's little point now in continuation. There must be something new to find here. Some nook or some cranny that offers a perspective worth clinging to. I've burnt my bridges. I've sunk my boats and watched them go to water.
Yeah, don't fall for the schemes of the rich bastards, like that bold asshole from Amazon. who's like, oh, you will be renting computers. Go fuck yourself, man. Not happening. Dude thinks he's some amazing person. While, let's face it, he lucked out with Amazon just because he had his freaking father's money. He lucked out with that, and all the other investments of his are like complete failures. Come on. And he thinks he's amazing. Bold bastard. Go rent yourself some hair from fucking Cloud. I went on a rant, but those people pissed me off so much. Nobody will remember him anyway. Like, come on. Alright. I might have lost my path. Or not. I don't know. I kinda...
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Yeah, I was about to say I should have checked out the boat. Well, maybe it's not this one that I should be checking, but other one. So there are 2 boats here. I was correct. Except I counted this one as 2 somehow. I'm dumb. What can I say? Build containers. At this point, I would also complain about basically a house made from container. Then again, I don't know if I would want, like, in just one container. You know, people are speaking, oh, I like small houses, it's so nice, I owe less, and so on, but I know, I'm not buying that. Minimalistic, blah, blah, blah. I'm not buying that. Are you really doing that because you want to or because you must? Huh. Okay, I can't get to those boats. That is kind of an issue. I can't even get to the water now. See, that's where jumping and sprinting would come in handy. But I guess in a way that they have kind of predicted that might be a thing. I guess I came from, you know, up over there, but there is a path here as well, so I guess that's where we're going now.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation,
Ow.
when I was still half submerged in anesthetic.
Operation?
Your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape. And
What?
you've been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
I honestly don't want to ever have to deal with kidney stones, that's for sure. My father has a weird hobby of constantly having kidney stones issues for. I don't know,
When I first
it's a
looked into
hobby
the
of
shower,
his or whatever.
I swear I felt the stones in my stomach
Weirdo.
shift in recognition.
But that's what happens when you constantly just drink fizzy. And so on, I guess. And your diet is like everything that contains salt. Quite literally, by the way. I feel like every 2 to 3 years I hear, "Oh, kidney stones." Literally. Dude, I don't know why he's doing that to himself. Again, a weirdo.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
What the fuck? I mean, this must have been a stable, right? But why is there, like, medical equipment here? And those syringes are flipping huge. Is this how, like, a syringe for a horse looks like? I never seen, so I assume this was a stable. Another house. Dude, there must have been more people on this island. I feel like if you were to be living on an island like that, it might be a pain to live like at the very top because of the wind.
In the early 1700s.
Okay.
By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of
Probably
breeding.
Danish.
He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats.
Oh, it's like
died
goats.
2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
It's goats, not horses. Gotcha. Another one of those. Some blood over here. Another weird signs. Huh. Yeah, getting back. Like, living on the top of the hill might be kind of... I feel like kind of off. But if you had like hills and so on, and somehow would be able to have house between those hills, I feel like that would be neat. And kind of convenient. Again, the wind is not getting in your face.
My heart is landfill.
Just more paint.
Storms waking into the still never light. I sweat for you in the small hours and wrap my blankets into a mass. I have always heard the waves break on these lost shores, always the gulls.
Letters, books.
I can lift this bottle to my ear, and all there ever is for me is this Hebridean music.
Alright. And some stove. Also, right above it, clothes on a rack. Okay. Sleeping area, another, well, in this case it's chimney, nice. Okay. But on the other hand, being on top of like that, so cool. The views. Like, come on. This is it. Now that I think about it, there was like at some point 2 years ago, something like that, a job offer to get out to the island, right? And be in one house that is there. I think it was a job offer from Opera, the browser, basically. I did not apply. I was late. Yeah. I hope I'm not going to fall here, or... Actually,
Footnote. The editor comments that at
doesn't
this
matter.
point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore
Jesus.
him like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined.
Yeah.
Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
Okay. I assume we have to follow
They
along.
found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come.
There's a cave
Even though
there.
he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Ah, that was refreshing. Well, I guess 2012. I could not expect leaving like a wet mark after myself. Still, man, we're able to do that kind of environment in 2012. It runs fine in what I have. Again, like 4th gen Intel. i7 4790, by the way. Earlier I had i5 4590. And the failed attempt that I mentioned earlier was upgrade to i7 4790K. Yeah, but that CPU unfortunately came in faulty. And I didn't try to get another one. I found a non-K version.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg.
Ow.
I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on
Should I go
waves.
here or here?
Tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Ascent, you say? I mean, so far it looks like we are on a descent. Look, with the everything. Doesn't look like we are climbing up. Also, the sounds were wild when he started talking. There was the sound of the wind. Yeah, you know what this game does very well is the sound, that's for sure. I might be saying something something different when editing the video, if I have to like constantly tinker with the volume, but like overall experience when being around here and hearing all the stuff happening, yeah, it does it well. Oh shit. Did he say ascent? Dude! No, I don't want to I don't want doing I don't want cave diving. Oh no.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is, has gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us and whatever correspondence could be drawn from the wet rocks.
Why would you do that? By the way, the most ridiculous, one of the most ridiculous things people do, getting in those tight little caves. Like, why are you doing this? What is going through a person's mind to do something like this? Aside from stupidity, obviously. It's crazy. Like, I'm not a fan of caves in general. But that, even more ridiculous. Shrooms are around, by the way, here. Okay, time to go back. Or maybe not. I'll have a look. Am I meant to go here? The problem is there doesn't seem to be an invisible wall here, so yeah. This might be the destination, actually. Which I'm not happy about.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
Okay. Okay, it seems like we need to go into the hall again. Great. Not the kind of hall you'd want to go to. And definitely not with an entire body. Wink, wink. Alright. Ah, oh, fuck's sake. Ugh. This is loud now. Nice. I'm surprised it took me so long to get to play this. I mean, I'm sure even on my like old parts I could. Huh. Please don't slide down. Well, I won't be surprised if I had to go there anyway. I would rather not, but I won't be surprised. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh. Oh no. It's turning into the horror. Crawling through the caves. Again, if we are about to do what I mentioned crazy people do, I'll not be happy.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels.
So which direction?
Here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
Well, you'd be surprised, but that's how it works. A bit of the islands is under the water. Right, I think there is a path even higher. But we'll still slowly walk in here to see if there is anything of interest. Not really, no. You know, once again, we don't appreciate having the sprinting ability enough. Listen, I understand going through it like slowly in general, but if you want to go back, I need a sprint, man. Yeah, definitely have to be up there, but there's also this way that I want to check. Well, I think it's a dead end as well. Maybe I'll be able to go down their side. Ooh, wait, it goes even further, seems like. But can we go any further? I might have made a big mistake then, yeah. I can't go any further. I'm trying I'm W keying it, but yeah. Oh, I can't even go here in the water. Interesting. All right. Time to go up then, I guess. Time to go up. Again, that pattern on the walls. Goddamn chemists. Chemistry was never as like a strong subject for me, to be quite honest. I remember chemistry being introduced to me in middle school. Before that, in primary school, we had a subject that was like a combination of chemistry, biology, and physics. Middle school, it got divided. To be fair, I struggled with chemistry in the beginning and with biology, which is funny. Because physics was going well.
Reflected in the moonlit waters. It can only be a dead shepherd who has come to drunk drive you home.
But yeah, biology mostly because you had to memorize everything. Chemistry, well, I kinda had to get into the gist of it. But then somehow managed. Again, I'm not a talented person. I had to put in some studying to understand everything. Yeah. it's more like work hard because you have no talent. That's my case. I guess you could also see it on YouTube, right? With the amount of videos I push out, kind of. Or pushed out over the time. Zero talent over here. Hard work, and once again, hard work, well, doesn't really matter. Sadly. Alright, I guess we have to dive in for once. Kinda... Maybe didn't expect there to be the section where I have to swim. I probably don't need to get the air right, but... Let's do it anyway. I wouldn't have the balls to... Sorry, but I got an antivirus update popping up. I don't think I would have the balls to like go alone into place. I mean, into a cave and... Oh shit. I mean, this is literally a dead end. Come on. No way he survived that. What the flip? Okay. Dude, the battery in this car is crazy. In this one as well. Is it a Golf? This might be a Golf. And like, who knows? Also, we are on the wrong side of the road, but I have no clue if I'm going the correct direction or not. Maybe I was supposed to try to submerge, which I'm doing now somehow. Oof. I have survived. Okay, let me close that. Okay. And we're back. Again, I closed the window with the update of the antivirus, but are we finally getting out of here? Out of the caves? Okay, I think we are getting 4th chapter now. Considering the loading screen. And there were, I think, 4 chapters as well in the beginning to choose from, right? Candles. Okay. A tent, got it. Now I probably need to go to the left, to the right. Oh my god. Okay, that is kind of annoying. That's why I'm going to check out the left path first.
The moon over the Sandford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
Can I go here? Yeah. Alright. End of the line. This is pretty... Overall, man. This is a decent little story. I'll remember none of it, but... Still pretty decent. Oh, come on! Okay, so I can go here, here, and also there is like a high route. Let's go there. I need to go back, I know. But... I wonder if I can maybe cut through here. Yes. Do 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 do. I need a haircut. What a thing to say suddenly, right? Yeah, I need to like get my little candle as well lit up finally. Why is there so much paint here for like in this entire island? Is it because of all the things on the walls, those chemical formulas? I guess this is what the paint is used for, but come on. Also, who turned on, or should I say, who decided to light up all those candles around? This is absolutely a fire hazard, by the way.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash.
Huh.
Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman.
What is up in here?
I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
Is it a radio? Wait. Fuck. Is this the... Oh my god, what is it called in freaking English? The electric heart restarter. Why would it be here? I will not remember the name now, will I? I said how is it called in English. I don't even remember in my language. Like, I have such a brain fart to the name of the device now. I bet I will remember that one once I click that stop recording. Okay, another little schematic. Huh. I wanted to go to the top over there if anywhere, man. Not the caves or anything. The top of the hill to the tower. That's where I wanted to go. There are quite a lot of caves here, to be fair. A tire, or two of them. Parts of car in general. Oh, I get it. This must be where someone's life came to an end. It's that type of candle, isn't it? Hmm.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been traveling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
Okay. You know, also this is the kind of game where you walk, and you expect in the least predictable moment to get jumped by someone.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting,
Let's have a look.
I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Is that potatoes? Or what is what? I think we can't really continue here. Here we have that supposed fleet of his. Time to go up. Now I wonder if I should maybe immediately jump into the remake. Or to give it like a few days. Or at least a day. I'll see. I hope the remake has the sprint button.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
What? Are you kidding me now? You can't be serious. You can't be serious about that. Shit, I fell. I wanted to go here. Wanted that high road.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and casts parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Nice view. And something he was proceeding. Something his journey? Got it. Invisible wall. That couldn't be easy to write up there. Unless that's imagination. But then again, all that paint buckets, right? Come near. Da. Huh. This is kind of like church singing in the distance, it feels like.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
We need sprint. That is correct.
Bent back like a nail,
Whoa.
like a hangnail, like a drowning man clung onto the wheel, drunk and spiraled, washed onto the lost shore under a moon as fractured as a shattered wing.
Have we been here?
Cleaved
We've been here,
with
right?
Flight and suspended, these wretched painkillers, this form inconstant. I will take flight. I will take flight.
No, we haven't been here. What the heck? This is sort of like a bunker? Yeah, it seems like we are sort of on a different path now? Huh. Danger, danger, unauthorized person keep out. Danger, danger, danger. I'm definitely authorized for this. I need to change position. Ugh. All right. Why is there no rail on this side, but on the whatever? It must have fallen, I guess. Yeah. I can't imagine climbing up here in winter for.
I have dredged these waters for the bones
Wow,
of the herd,
that's a lot of text.
for the traces of Donnelly, for any sign of Jakobsen's flock, for the empty bottle that would incriminate him. I have scoured this stretch of motorway 21 times, attempting to recreate his trajectory, the point when his heart stopped dead and all he saw was the moon over the Sanford Junction. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all, and it was not his fault. It was the converging lines that doomed him. This is not a recorded natural condition. The gulls do not fly so low over the motorway and cause him to swerve. The paint scored away from his car in lines like an infection, making directly for the heart.
Sure. Oh, I'm finally going where I wanted to go from the very beginning. Let's go to the top. To the top we go. At the same time, I would not like to go to the top of this.
I will abandon this body and take to the air.
What?
Dear Esther,
Okay.
I have burned
I'm not
my
doing anything.
belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One
Yep,
day the
I would
gulls
not
will
be doing
return
that.
and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Is he going to? He's. Oh shit! Never mind, I can fly. You think I would jump without knowing that I can fly? Come on. Of course I could fly. Come on.
Come back.
And? Am I supposed to do something now, or? I certainly am not moving her, I think. Ah! Okay, it happens when I do this, okay. Am I supposed to do something? I'm W keying. I don't know if it will lead to anything. I think it's over. I will check for. To be sure. Well, I feel like this is about it. Yeah. We should have the credits rolling now, but that's not triggering for some reason, so to the main menu I go. I guess we can do this. Yeah. I can run the credits like that for you. As, well, otherwise it's not happening. I mean, it was a walking simulator. The music is definitely great. Yeah. The sounds in general, very well done. The environment. Good. Again, I'm also talking perspective that was 2012 game. Environment is fantastic. And I bet it's not anyone using... I mean, maybe I would not say I bet, but I think this is not using any assets or whatever. They did great job. The entire team. I wish they included the sprint ability, but... yeah. Honestly, I mean, as much as I say sprint, sprint, sprint. I would like to have the sprint when we walk to an area and there is nothing there else to do and I will have to go all the way back. That would be super useful in situation like that. Otherwise, no problem at all. Let's just walk around. I was fine with that. I mean, it was an okay game. Yeah. Once again, if you are in a way like me, or don't like me, like if you are like me, let's say that you refuse to actually buy completely new stuff until something completely breaks, right? I'm like that with PCs, for example. I know I have still the library to play. The Esther was in that library. Boom. If you're in such a situation like that as well, like in that kind of mindset, dude, we have enough games still. But dude, I'm going back to that topic from earlier, right? We are good for quite a few years still. Dude, I might be good even until retirement with the amount of games. And so on. But yeah, I guess it's nice to go basically back and play something old as well. This one is quite old. Once again, 2012. 14 years old game. And it was great. And this is not a remake. We'll play the remake for, yeah. You know what? I will jump into remake immediately. So tomorrow, Dear Esther, the remake, which I don't... What was the title of the remake? Dear Esther, Landmark Edition. That's tomorrow. We'll play it, yeah. Let's knock both out of the line, basically. And no, this one didn't have achievements. And also didn't have cards, as far as I'm concerned. Not like cards matter at this moment here, but yeah. Just a little info. Let me also have a look. The game is mostly positive. 73% positive. Out of 4,642 reviews. Alright. 2 people want this game. Well, good luck with that, considering the rest is no longer in the Steam store. But if you purchased it, like me in the past, actually I don't know if I purchased or if it was free, whatever. But yeah, if you had this added to library in the past, you can still download the classic edition. That's in a way a beauty of Steam. Even if it's no longer in the store, but you purchased it, you can still install it, right? That's nice. That is indeed nice. I actually don't know if there was ever a situation. Maybe there was. In a way, I would not be surprised, where something was erased from the store and also from the library. Actually, I guess if the dev was like, let's switch up files, then it would be possible. But yeah, I feel like most of the games are still kept around, so everyone can download them. Anywho, it's time to end the video. And yeah, I will immediately jump into the Landmark Edition right now. Even though it will be kind of weird to play the same thing, but enhanced. Like 5 minutes after the other. But I kind of want to do that. So, if you're interested, feel free to join me tomorrow on the Enhanced Edition. Which was not called that, it was Landmark Edition. which is basically an enhanced edition, and that's about it. And as always, if you enjoyed, consider liking the video. Super helpful for me. Not like you need to help me. Like, I mean, YouTube will keep hiding my videos anyway. Oh yeah, definitely turn off the restricted mode. Definitely. Not even me. My videos are getting hidden behind that. But a lot of other people's videos are being hidden behind it, so I recommend turning it off. Still, maybe you enjoyed it enough as well to stick around and subscribe. I'll play more games for. Yeah, we'll play more games. More! Alright, that's it. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.